Montgomery at Hudson's.
You're watching Channel 4, WDIV, and this is the Night Beat Now, where local news comes first.
Good evening. Tonight, an exclusive I-Team investigation uncovers illegal sexual activity in public restrooms around Metro Detroit. It's a story we believe parents should see, and one that you may not want your children to watch. There's new information. Metro Detroit is not alone. In New York, Orlando, Miami, San Antonio, Sacramento, and Seattle, retail stores call this a rapidly growing problem. The I-Team's Mike Wendland joins us now live with the story. Mike?
It's a disturbing problem with disturbing video. Now, here's the problem. Parents send their kids, oftentimes unthinking, into restrooms at area malls. Never give it a second thought, but they should. The I-Team is determined there are some problems there. The I-Team has learned that inside many of the public men's rooms at some of our area's best-known shopping centers, men are engaging in illicit sexual activities. Sometimes right out in the open, sometimes behind the stall walls. We were tipped to the problem 2 months ago and referred to this internet website, which blatantly lists places all around the world, including 38 places in Metro Detroit where men can go to engage in sex. Keith owns and operates this website. He agreed to an interview, but would not let us show his face.
Men meet, they have sex. They do in a bathroom, behind the stall, exactly what they might do in a bedroom. I've not only seen it happen, I've done it.
Among the 38 places in Metro Detroit, parks, rest areas, adult bookstores. But the most shocking of all, places you may never suspect, public shopping malls. The I-Team sent undercover decoys with hidden cameras to several of these places to see if this is really happening. Written on many of the stall walls, we found instructions on how to find a partner for sex. And we discovered scenes like this over and over at all times of the day. Men doing what police and those who engage in these activities call peeking, trying to entice sexual activity by making eye contact underneath stall walls.
People cruise one another. They make eye contact. They deliver various signals that implies that they're interested in sexual activity.
And that's exactly what we found at Northland Mall in Southfield. At Hudson's in the basement restroom, two men began making sexual advances to our decoy 28 minutes after we went inside. At the Summit Place Mall in Waterford Township at Montgomery Ward in the second floor restroom, our cameras caught two men engaging in illicit sexual activity. At the Eastland Mall in Harper Woods, at Hudson's in the fourth floor restroom, signals for sex were made to our decoy immediately. And we even found it happening at the Henry Ford Centennial Library, located right next door to the Dearborn Police Station in the first floor restroom. And not all of it goes on behind the stall wall. Universal Mall in Warren, our hidden camera caught two men engaging in sex right out in the open, an area where they could be seen by anyone, even children, who walked inside the bathroom.
It's not only illegal activity, but it's dangerous activity for unprotected children that go in there. They don't stop when people walk in. They don't care who's there and who's viewing it.
Well, if they come in and watch it happening, it would seem to imply that they want to watch it happening. Otherwise, they could turn around and walk out.
And who are these people?
These are people, they're teachers, they're businessmen, they're ministers, they're husbands. They all have, most all of them are married, have kids.
But according to the man who promotes these activities, for some men, this is a way of life.
This is a way of meeting people. It's always been that way, always will be that way.
Now, all of the activities we observed in restrooms involved men. Police tell us that sex in restrooms between women is not a problem, nor is public sex between men and women. Jeff Montgomery, the head of the Triangle Foundation, contends that is not the case. He says police choose not to focus on it.
This kind of activity does go on with other combinations of people, heterosexual couples, as well as gay male couples. But in these pieces, specifically, that kind of thing is never mentioned.
Now, you may be wondering what is happening as a result of this investigation. Well, we've contacted management for all of the places where we observed this illicit activity, and we can report to you tonight that they've all sent us statements. Universal Mall in Warren, Montgomery Ward, the Henry Ford Centennial Library, and Hudson's all tell us that they have beefed up security, that they are taking immediate steps, they are curtailing this problem, that it will cease to exist in their malls. Now, we're going to stay on top of the story. We'll have more tomorrow on the News Beat at 5. Live with the I-Team in Oakland County, Mike Wendland, Night Beat.
New at 11, a nationwide manhunt has led police to arrest 29-year-old James Somerville Jr. We told you last night they thought he might be headed for Atlanta. He was arrested today in Minneapolis. He's wanted for the Farmington Hills murder of 32-year-old Philip Ellis. Ellis was found with dozens of stab wounds in his apartment on Monday. Also new at 11, police say a Sterling Heights couple is wired for fraud. They're accusing the couple of selling illegal cable service. Night Beat's Kevin Dietz is live on Detroit's east side, and he's got that story. Kevin?
With an incredible deal. 6 months of cable for only $50. The problem is, they didn't work for the cable company. They were con artists. They came from the suburbs to rip off residents in the city. A husband and wife team selling cable TV for unbelievably low prices. Just listen to this secretly recorded sales pitch. This taken by the real cable company who was on to the imposters. Caught on tape, the Sterling Heights couple putting up a ladder and installing an illegal hookup. Then the cops were called.
Me and you are done talking. So far,
the wife had 5 different aliases. Both had fake Comcast cable ID cards and forms. Their truck was filled with stolen cable reels and cell phones. The arrests don't surprise George Booth, the general manager of Comcast. He says his company loses more than $35 million a year from people who steal cable signals.
Anytime you have anyone out there, it's not Detroit. The customers here in Detroit people. We're looking to maintain the quality of the cable system, and anytime anyone's out there stealing, they're tapping in. They're diluting the quality of the signal.
The next target, people who tap in without paying cable bills. And those who are caught will suffer a big price. Not only will they lose the cable service that they're stealing, they lose everything connected to their cable. That means the TV, the VCR, even the stereo, if it's connected. Reporting live in Detroit, Kevin Dietz, Night Beat.
All right, Kevin. A retired high school coach is accused of foul play tonight. He's charged with soliciting male prostitutes. The Night Beat's Karen Drew is in Warren with the story.
It's here at Warren Woods Towers High School where Ron Lucas spent years coaching the students. But it's what he did one night last week that's overshadowing his career. 63-year-old Ron Lucas was well known in Macomb County. He was a coach and teacher there for 32 years, even named Coach of the Year by the Macomb Daily newspaper. But now, Lucas is known for something else.
Everybody's shocked. Don't understand.
Last Thursday, the retired coach was arrested here at the Toledo Hotel with 2 18-year-old prostitutes.
I know his face.
You say that he came here often. How often did he visit?
Oh, almost a couple of times a week.
Lucas was in room 17 when police forced their way in when the men refused to remove the chain lock on the door. Now the question is, if the Coach of the Year would hire male prostitutes, many are wondering if he ever had improper relations with any of the students he spent so many hours with at this football field.
To even be defending these other charges, and I use the word defending loosely, you know, seems a bit absurd to me at this point.
Cordy Wilsinski is an umpire and has known the retired coach for more than 30 years.
He admitted that he did it, and he admitted he had a problem, but he was quick to point out that he was not involved with any of the kids on the football team or any of the kids or any of the students at Warrenwood's Middle School.
Lucas faces 90 days in jail, a $100 fine, and mandatory AIDS testing. Tonight, he is out on bond under psychiatric evaluation. In Warren, Karen Drew, Night Beat.
Chances are pretty good you saw it. The big Seinfeld finale was more than just a television show, though. It was more of an event, I guess.
You know, it really was. People all over Metro Detroit celebrated the end of Seinfeld with huge parties. The Night Beat's Paula Tutman was invited to a few of those parties, and she joins us now live at the Star Theater in Southfield with highlights from those parties. Paula?
Well, I just finished watching the show with a couple of hundred faithful fans. The show was funny, but was it funny enough for those faithful fans? I'll have their reaction coming up on the Night Beat. Also, more on my conversation with Larry David, the co-creator of the show. What did he really think about the final episode? That story coming up live on the Night Beat.
All right, Paula, that's not all. Coming up next, we'll take you live to New York and Jerry's favorite hangout, Monk's Restaurant. You'll see what's happening there live tonight.
Hi, this is Bernie Smilovich. The Red Wings were cooking tonight in St. Louis. The Blues are toast. We've got highlights coming up.
And what are you looking for? Romance? Comedy? Adventure?
Well, we've got it all in the most spectacular May ever.
Are you intrigued?
It's NBC's must-see season finales, brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Dodge dealers. Your favorite stars, their biggest moments.
Unbelievable!
Friends, Caroline, Mad About You, Frasier, Third Rock, ER, and of course, Seinfeld's final sign-off.
You have no idea of the magnitude of this thing.
It's the biggest must-see May ever. Brought to you by the new Dodge. See your friendly Southeast Michigan Dodge dealer today.
For an unprecedented 3 years in a row, Dodge Ram has received J.D. Power & Associates Appeal Award as the most appealing full-size pickup. And because Ram owners rated this high, we're celebrating with a rate this low. Now lease a Dodge Ram with a Magnum V8 automatic and air for just $259 a month. Or buy a Ram for as little as $15,125. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
Metro Detroit may have been jumping with Seinfeld sign-off parties, but the biggest party of all tonight was in New York City.
As we would expect. Of course, we know it as Monk's restaurant on Seinfeld, but it's really Tom's restaurant in New York, and that's the place to be tonight. Doug Evans got one of the lucky assignments, and he's there with some of the die-hard fans. Doug?
Well, Devin, it just figures that the best Seinfeld watching party in the country tonight was at a no-name Greasy Spoon in Manhattan, which after tonight's show, the season finale, will forever be a no-name Greasy Spoon in Manhattan. After 9 years, New Yorkers said so long to Seinfeld.
Susan Sarandon topped the celebrity guest list at Tom's Restaurant in New York. How does she feel about the finale of Seinfeld?
Oh, I'm devastated.
You know it as Monk's, Jerry and the gang's favorite diner. This was just one of the finale watching parties in New York City tonight. It included some of the celebrity guest stars, including the Soup Nazi, the actor.
No soup for you!
New Yorkers were doing what all of America was doing tonight. They were pouring out junior mints, slicing loaves of marble rye, and sitting down to watch Seinfeld sign off. Perhaps the biggest watching party of all was in Times Square. Seinfeld signed off on the big screen.
Sad to see it go. I like the show. I'm a fan. It's going to be tough not having Seinfeld to watch every week.
Hey, and look who it is. Not. Who would you rather look like? Kramer, Elaine, Jerry, or Newman? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. New Yorkers are making up their minds tonight just like you at home. How'd you like it back in Detroit?
We're still recovering ourselves. Sorry to see Susan Sarandon so broke up from it all.
Oh, devastated,
yes.
darling, just devastated.
All right, Doug, we'll talk to you when you get back. We've got Seinfeld covered coast to coast tonight, though.
Oh, yes, we do. Just ahead, we'll move from New York to L.A., and you'll get a look at what happened when Jerry turned up on The Tonight Show.
First, though, we're going to take you live to a local Seinfeld bash, and in case you missed it, we'll show you part of the grand finale next.
What is it about leather? You need beautiful lines to pull it off. Meet the limited edition Mazda 626. Now in leather. Luxuriously loaded at just $239 a month. It's time to get into leather. Lease a Mazda 626 leather edition for just $239 a month, but only for a limited time.
You know, with my job, you get some really great stuff. Foam probes, manhole hooks, pole climbers. I prefer a ladder. I'm a field technician for Ameritech. Here's my newest tool. Hi, this is Linda with Ameritech. Now we can let people know when we're coming. I'll be there in about 25 minutes. 25 minutes is great. Thought I'd have to wait all day. Nobody has to wait and wonder, you know. Keeps everybody saner. Hi, the phone company using phones to help people? There's a concept.
At Art Van, we offer the finest bedding from Stearns & Foster because you deserve nothing less than a perfect night's sleep. And now every Stearns & Foster mattress is 40% off, so you can afford to lose yourself in all this luxury and comfort. Plus, you do not pay till $19.99. And with Mattress Express, there's free guaranteed next-day delivery and removal of your old bedding. You get all the best from Stearns & Foster at 40% off.
Some places are jacks of all trades and masters of none. Hey, you wouldn't go to a general practitioner for brain surgery, right?
At Bell Tire, we're automotive specialists, so why go anyplace else?
He wants to sit down with us and talk about Jerry.
A show? Jerry?
Right.
Jerry? Oh, my God. He wants to talk about Jerry?
Yeah.
When?
Today, like right now.
Right now? Jerry!
Jerry!
He wants to talk about Jerry!
He wants to talk about Jerry!
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 Oh, we're going to miss them. You know, it was promoted. It was hyped. People, I should say us, talked about it for weeks.
Now that Seinfeld is over, what did you think? That's the question of the night. Let's go out to the Night Beats Paula Tutman live at the Star Southfield. She's got the verdict from the Seinfeld fans. Paula.
That's right. I just finished watching the show with a couple of hundred faithful Seinfeld fans. First of all, I want to say, as you said, lots of hype, lots of speculation on the internet, newspapers. The dubious distinction award goes to the Boston Herald, which actually printed the final show last week. So they blew the big surprise. Was it really that big a deal? What did the fans actually think? Let's see.
I found it! God, let me be successful!
Is this how it ends? At first, it looked like the show was going to take a dive. Few laughs, only a couple of chuckles. But then something happened. Only Jerry Seinfeld can make a carjacking funny.
Well, there goes the money for the lipo.
And then the laughs came like thunder. Genius. Sheer genius.
It was good. Good. They brought everybody back. It was straight.
I like the feedback on the old episodes and looking back at the old episodes and laughing. And
Big question, is it paying off, though?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All over the Metro Detroit area, people gathered to say sayonara to Seinfeld. From Wixom, where the Mathers threw a Seinfeld soiree, to Southfield, where 99.5 Young Country Radio invited several hundred of their closest friends to say so long. Was it thumbs up or thumbs down?
I think it was worth it. I think it was a good way to bring all the characters back.
Paul, you have Kassem to the stand. Who?
I like the plane ride. I like when you messed everything up. Yeah, it's paid off.
I don't think it could have been the best one. Too much hype leading up to it, but I think we all wanted to see everybody one more time, and then it was a good way to do it.
What? In the end, the bad Samaritans, having been found guilty, get to spend a year in jail to think about what reprehensible characters they've been for the last 9 years.
We'll be out in a year. And then we'll be back.
I think that they're going to come back in a year.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah. Because that's what they said. They said they're going to take a break for a year.
In society,
I
so they'll be back in a year.
You think so?
Well,
Yeah.
we hope so.
Okay, so some people really, really, really liked it, but it wasn't really a huge enthusiastic crowd. Few people said they loved it. Some people even said, oh, it didn't really seem like a season finale at all. All in all, they did get some laughs. Now, I had a conversation with Larry David, the co-creator of the show, yesterday on the phone, and he actually told me he thought it was good writing. He thought it was very funny, but he said he thought all the hype was going to hurt the show, that people would have unreasonable expectations, and it wouldn't come off as good as he thought it was. Was he right? Well, I don't know. People did just kind of seem to think it was funny.
He didn't tell you whether or not he'll be back after a year's hiatus, though.
No, he didn't. And I will tell you, I asked him if I could come out to L.A. and watch the show with him, and he politely declined, but no guts,
Other
no
plans,
glory.
perhaps.
I had to try. It was my last shot.
All right, Paula.
All right. Well, okay, Paula. If you're already suffering from Seinfeld withdrawal, here's another chance to see Jerry.
In just a few minutes from now, he's on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Here's a preview.
You got the biggest show on TV. Critical success. Rating success. Ratings. Huge dough. You quit when you're top of the game. What the hell were you thinking?
Jay, I was driving down Sunset. She looked 18.
Get out before the scandal hits.
That's fun, but you realize with his syndication deal, he is going to make as much money not doing the show as he was doing the show.
Leave it to Devin to rub it in,
Well,
okay? The rest of us...
you've already run the numbers. You can't fool me.
What? Did you replay my forecast tomorrow? Last Friday?
You've got good numbers from today,
Oh,
too.
yeah, today was good numbers. Tomorrow gets even warmer, so if you like summertime weather, this is it, baby. Take a look at numbers for the highs and lows. Here's where we go. High temp today hit 83 degrees. Oh, it did. 58 for the low. No precipitation out of Metro Airport today, and you can see what we've got going on for the normals and the records. Tomorrow's record is low 90s, so even though we'll be getting a little closer, still no cigar. Sunrise is at 6:13. And let's talk a little bit now about what's going on across the Great 48. We've got a ridge of high pressure that's responsible for all of this warm weather, and it looks like it's going to linger right into the weekend. Take a look now. The H is for that high pressure, also for the hot air that's been building, but there's a little disturbance that's developing out in the southwest part of the country. This thing is going to rotate to the northeast right along that jet stream. The nation's midsection of the plains gets some thunderstorms Friday. Saturday morning, we'll probably see some rain or storms. And then temperatures cool off, but just temporarily. By the beginning of next week, we're warming up again. Outside now for us, here's where we go. We're looking at, a warm weekend, that's for sure. And it looks like it's going to stay that way. Current weather comes into view, and here's where we go. Here's where we're at. Fair skies, 68 degrees. No ceiling for the clouds. Visibility is at 7 miles plus. Relative humidity is at 84%. Barometric pressure this time is steady. And the wind is blowing now lightly out of the south at 7 miles per hour. 68 degrees is what we've got here. And it is fair and warm. Eastern half of the country, lots of fair skies. Still some haze. Nation's midsection, already showers and even some thunderstorms firing off on the eastern side of the Rocky Mountains. You can see that closer now. One wave of showers out west. Streaks of cloud cover with showers and thunderstorms across the plains. But as we come back home, you can see all the clouds here. We just have a lot of fair sky, a little bit of haze. This evening, high pressure moving out off to the east. This front begins to approach by Saturday morning. Could be a passing shower or a thunderstorm. Then behind the front, not significantly cooler, another high comes in. So it looks like a pretty decent weekend. And again, tomorrow looks even hotter than today. Here's the forecast, how it all shakes out. Beginning with tonight, down to 63. Fair with a little haze in the air, very mild, and it looks like a light and variable breeze. Daytime tomorrow, we'll start off in the 60s, and look at this, 86 for a high, hazy sun, warmer. Find a hammock and just lay back. Oh, yeah. And here we go with the next couple of days. Early Saturday could be a storm, but then we get some sun. Sunday looks like a beautiful day. By Monday, Tuesday, maybe another little shower storm, but frankly, you know, we could use some rain. It would be nice to get a little spurt here or there.
Okay, that's good. Thanks, Chuck. All right. Tonight, police are trying to figure out why a man opened fire in the Detroit Police Precinct headquarters. 25-year-old Marvin Terry walked into the 9th Precinct on Detroit's east side last night and just started shooting while yelling that he was invincible. And that seemed so for a while because officers returned fire. They say they hit Terry 7 times. Terry survived it but was seriously wounded. No officers were hurt. Terry's father believes his son modeled the shooting after last Friday night's episode of homicide.
The remains of the Vietnam veteran buried in the Tomb of the Unknowns are now at the Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington. Scientists will use advanced DNA tests to try to identify the body. Defense Secretary William Cohen led the solemn ceremony today at the Tomb of the Unknowns. Pallbearers from each of the armed services carried the casket to a hearse.
Peace talks ended today in Washington between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. Albright has been trying to broker a deal over the future of the West Bank, but tomorrow she'll be traveling herself to join President Clinton in London. And as for him, all of his traveling of late is apparently taking its toll. Press Secretary Mike LaCurry says President Clinton's back is really hurting. Apparently hurt himself doing stretching exercises on Monday and has aggravated it over the past few days.
And you thought Seinfeld was the only one making the buzz. NBC Today Show host Matt Lauer is making the buzz tonight. The popular newsman is no longer eligible. He's now engaged to a Dutch model, Annette Brogue. He proposed to her in Venice, according to our sources, a couple of weeks ago while he was on his Where is Matt Lauer tour. They haven't set a wedding date just yet.
Hearts are breaking all over town. Bernie has something special coming up next. The Seinfeld gang is actually going to help him with the best baseball highlights of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, Game 4, that's right, between the Red Wings and the Blues. We'll go live to St. Louis for highlights and locker room interviews. That's next in sports.
Senator J. Bulwer thought he was ending it all.
I'm not dead by Monday morning. I'm going to stop payment on that check.
Instead, it was the beginning of a whole new life.
People got the problems, the has and the have-nots, but the ones that make me listen pay for 30-second spots.
That speech was bad.
Huh? Bulworth is the most intelligent comedy of the decade. Savagely funny.
Senator took your car. Who took my car?
And furiously original.
I'm incredibly frightened.
Bulworth, rated R. New York and Los Angeles tomorrow, May 22nd, everywhere.
Chrysler and Plymouth announces the Owner's Bonus Sale. These unbeatable savings are also extended to all GM loyalty coupon holders and Ford appreciation coupon holders. Select customers save $1,750 on America's lowest priced minivan, Plymouth Voyager, $2,000 on Plymouth Grand Voyager, or $2,000 on the ultimate minivan, Chrysler Town & Country. And when you choose our low 1.9 APR, you still get the extra $1,000 Owner's Bonus.
See one of your Chrysler and Plymouth superstores today.
This is so exciting. Oh, I can't believe we're actually registered.
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, this
Yes. No, I like it. Oh,
We need those. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, look at this one.
For brides-to-be, we offer the city's most extensive selection of china, crystal, housewares, and more.
I think we should do this half of the department between now and noon, break for lunch, come back, and finish up the other half.
For husbands-to-be,
the other half?
we offer our sincerest apologies. The Wedding Registry at Hudson's.
Gardner White Furniture.
0% interest for 2 years, plus no down payment during Gardner White's pre-holiday sale. It's our biggest holiday event of the year. Save up to 70% store-wide. Get free next-day delivery. Then pay 0% interest in 98, 0% interest in 99, 0% interest for 2 years. Hurry, it's 1 week only at Gardner White.
We're known by the money you keep.
What is it about leather? You need beautiful lines to pull it off. Meet the limited edition Mazda 626. Now in leather. Luxuriously loaded at just $239 a month. It's time to get into leather. Lease a Mazda 626 leather edition for just $239 a month, but only for a limited time.
You know, only Seinfeld sign off could upstage the Red Wings, and
I don't think they did.
You don't
No,
think they did?
I don't think so, no. There's a lot of TVs going tonight. It is obvious the Red Wings are not going to let anyone or any team stand in their way tonight in St. Louis. They stuck the dagger in the Blues with a 5-2 win. Wings lead the series 3-1. Folks, the Blues are toast. We've got highlights. First period, Wings on the power play. Igor Larionov to Brendan Shanahan. He actually fans on the shot there, then manages to sneak it past Grant Fuhr for his 5th of the playoffs. Wings led it 1-0. Final seconds of the second period, Wings up 2-1. Pierre Turgeon with a sweet move here on Chris Osgood. 6 seconds to go in the second. Game was tied 2-2, but the Wings stormed out for the third. Tomas Holmstrom to Slava Kozlov. His third. Wings led 3-2. Later in the third, Blues on the power play, but Chris Draper gets it to Sergei Fedorov, who beats Fuhr for his 7th of the playoffs. He later added an empty netter. Wings beat the Blues 5-2. The series now moves to Detroit. Game 5 is Sunday afternoon at Joe Louis, and after that, we'll be saying live from Dallas. Fred Heumann joins us now. Is Fred not joining us now from St. Louis? Well, that is a good thing that I practiced that Dallas lead-in. Well, here's what the Wings said after that game without Fred.
I think now we just got to make sure that we, prepare ourselves the next 2 games and not try to think about anything else.
I tell you, if we, for 1 second, take this team lightly, they're gonna, they can shove it up us. That's for sure. That's the type of team they have. Look at the talent that they have, and they're gonna go in and they're gonna show their best game on Sunday. So we better have our best game on Sunday. We're aware of that.
We're gonna bleep that, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank God. That's all I'll say. Also tonight, Buffalo beats Montreal 3-1. They win that series 4 games to none. Chris Webber, the Washington Wizards, traded tonight to the Sacramento Kings for Mitch Richmond and Otis Thorpe. Webber with a lot of off-the-court problems, so the Wizards send him to Sacramento. Baseball tonight, Tiger Stadium. Tigers made it 2 in a row. Yeah. They ripped the Oakland A's 8-3. Nice job on the cue. We've got highlights. Fans were not happy with the early effort. I'm missing Seinfeld for this. They were down 3-0, the Tigers were, but in the 6th, boom, with the game tied 3-3 and a man on, Damian Easley jacks a 2-run home run to left. His 8th of the year. Tigers go on to beat the A's 8-3. By the way, security came over and made him take down the sign at Tiger Stadium. What about First Amendment rights? Jackie Childs, I hear, is on the way. Finally, I don't know if you've heard, but tonight was the last episode of Seinfeld. No. I just heard that moments ago. No. One of the great things about the show over the past 9 years has been the reaction shots of the characters. And when you mix that with great baseball plays, man, that's good TV.
Yellow.
Gabriel's gonna leap, and he's got it!
Yes! Oh, my God!
And behind him, juggling and catching the ball is Jordan.
Greg going back, and yes! Get out! Get out! Makes a leap and makes a catch up against the wall.
I'm blown away!
Toward the hole, backhanded by Garcia Parra. Strong throw!
Excellent.
Heading toward the plate, and look at Kendall! Is he safe? Ha ha ha!
All right already!
He's right. All right already.
Yeah, what are you going to do without? So you'll have no Drake. You're in big trouble.
Career's over. That's that.
Good
Done. Well, something to take
Go back to the creative wall.
No,
Seinfeld.
it's not a creative wall. If you hit the wall and then you try, when you attempt it, we'll talk later.
Well, guess what? It doesn't stop here, all the Seinfeld fun.
Now coming up, a final Seinfeld snippet.
This house used to vibrate with the sounds of kids playing. Great smells came from the kitchen, but not anymore. You see, the family who lived here lost their home because they were overwhelmed by their money problems. Don't let this happen to you. Call Worldwide Financial. We'll loan you the money you need, even if your credit's bad, because we lend money to homeowners who need it fast at 1-800-807-YES. Worldwide Financial. Cash fast when you need it most.
This is one of the most painful experiences.